let's talk about Model Y. Previously or at the event, the Model Y event in March of 2019, they said that production would likely start in the fall of 2020. On this last earnings call, there was a huge update to that, saying that they are moving up their production timeline to the summer of 2020. We're now seeing a lot of these Model Y vehicles on the road testing. They're testing a lot of them out, and they've been, I've seen it as far as like Michigan supercharging, but a ton in California. So what do you make of this? Because you're starting to see a lot of chatter about the Model Y in terms of visual sightings, and then also this update on moving the production timeline up, with a hint that it might happen sooner, right? I think I caught that on the earnings call. So what do you think about that? And how does this, probably more importantly, impact Tesla's bottom line?
Yeah, I mean, Elon has learned how to manage expectations and manage Wall Street, which is a game changer. We're talking about Tesla growing up. This is the perfect example of them getting it. And they were super late with Model 3. This was my beef. And I feel super personal. Like, this is a personal connection to this because I had one question for Elon at the shareholder meeting in 2018.
My question was just surrounding, as a long-term investor, I hate to say this, but I feel like my trust in Tesla's timelines sort of eroded a little bit with the Model 3 ramp. So should I keep discounting things on Elon time, or have you learned anything about this?
Yes, Gally.
I think I do have like an issue with time. It's like, yeah, a sort of naturally optimistic person, which I would not have probably done cars or rockets if I was not. So I'm trying to recalibrate these estimates. Yeah. Try to recalibrate as much as possible. Yeah. I mean, I'll probably put some sandbag on future dates. That's probably wise. But I kind of say when I think it can occur, but then I'm typically optimistic about these things. But maybe hopefully less optimistic over time.
Which was, how do we trust your timelines after this Model 3 thing, where it was just like every quarter for 3 quarters in a row, we're going to hit 5,000 per week. And they just didn't. And it was like, I can't model this company. You're losing more money. Like, they were really messing up, and I think hurt the trust of investors in a lot of ways. But then Elon's comment to that was like, we know he does Elon time and he's super optimistic, but I should probably sandbag. And now we've really seen them like manage expectations, not in a bad way, but just being realistic. And I'm super happy about that. And the whole time, the Model Y shares 75% of the parts. They're building it at Fremont. Like, this was designed for, they're way better at building general assembly lines than they've ever been. The battery packs are already there, being built in Nevada, same ones as the Model 3. I mean, this is kind of in the bag. And so I love the way they've been downplaying it. They also don't want to crush sales of the Model 3 right now by getting people too hyped on the Model Y. But I mean, this is the biggest product lineup expansion in Tesla's history since the Model 3. When they went from, a $5-8 billion company to a $25 billion company. Now we're going to see the Model Y, which is another potentially $20 to $25 billion product category alone, the CUV, crossover utility vehicle. So, I mean, you're talking about, even if it cannibalizes Model 3, which I think it will do, this product alone is going to bring up Tesla to 35-40 billion in annual revenue.
I think that it was a very smart move to share as many parts as they did with the Model 3. I think that that's really one of the fundamental parts of why they're able to move up this production timeline. I'm also curious to know if some of this restructuring of the wiring of the vehicles, reducing the amount of wiring, as well as the 70-to-1 stamping machine, is also contributing towards this efficiency and bumping up of the production timeline. What do you think?
I don't know about the wiring, but I do know that the big stamping thing is being used for Model Y. That thing where there was 70 little pieces and now it's one piece for the Model Y. So I think there's a lot of improvements, and they said that selling price of the Model Y will be a little bit higher than the Model 3. And I think they've been sandbagging just how profitable this is. So I don't know about the wiring harness specifically, although that is going to be in their cars in the future, how soon they put that in. And it's super important if you want to connect the car, make it autonomous, more electronics. I think it's really cool. What gets me even more excited on a high level from the Model Y is the CapEx. Capital expenditures, which is a super nerdy financial thing, but they amortize the cost. It's basically the billions of dollars of robots to buy the machinery that they spend up front. They then amortize that cost over time and it hits the margin of the cars. So there's like a 65% or no, 50% reduction, something huge in the CapEx per unit because they've learned so much and they're getting so good at building these production lines. So what that means, there's going to be half as much depreciation amortization on the margin line for that Model Y. And so we're talking about Tesla. They're already profitable. They're going to keep selling more Model 3s. And then we add on this incremental Model Y. I mean, it gets to the point where there's an exciting opportunity for them to make a lot of money when the Model Y really hits maturity.
From what I understand you saying, this car should have a better profit margin, correct? Because of that, because of the lower CapEx?
Yes. And even if it doesn't, and it has the same or even slightly worse, it almost doesn't matter because this is the beauty of Tesla. The stores are built that, they expand service and superchargers a little bit, but like all the fixed costs are there. That incremental gross margin, whether it's 25% like the Model 3 or even 15%, that 15% is all going to go there. And that operating margin is going to get the hit and it's just going to all be profits. And so I think that's the really exciting part about Tesla's business model that I've been saying for so long. It's like, wait for the shoe to drop with Model 3. Now they're making a little bit of money. Let's wait for the next shoe to drop, Model Y. Now we're making even more money. We're not even talking about batteries or pickup or semi.